Eco Crave is a jute rug industry. It is mainly made in Dhaka, Bangladesh, where we have our own artisans and own handmade people, and they do it with bunch of handcrafts and bunch of old traditional ways. At the moment, we have more than 300 people working for us who's making all these rugs, and they're being exported to United States, and we are selling on Amazon, we're selling on our own platform, and we're selling marketplace, different fairs. These things will represent stories of certain culture, certain sustainability, certain empowerment. If you can get impact for me, if I can see traffic, if everything is going smooth, I don't mind sharing my profit with you at all, because you're the one who is helping me out to get my brand out.
Welcome to our Afluencer podcast. We've got something special for our home and lifestyle influencers today. We're talking homemade jute rugs today with Riazul Nilabru. He is the marketing manager at Eco Crave, and we're going to get into kind of the background between these rugs. We'll talk about the collab opportunity again for the home lifestyle influencers and talk about where Eco Crave is going. So Riazul, welcome. And can you kick things off? Maybe give us a little bit about your background, your origin story, and how you came over to Eco Crave?
Yep, of course. So yeah, Brett, nice to meet you. I've been seeing your podcast and I've been seeing your brand influence for it's been a while. It's been a pleasure for me being here today. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about Eco Crave a little bit. Eco Crave is a jute rug industry. It is mainly made in Dhaka, Bangladesh, where we have our own artisans and own handmade people, and they do it with bunch of handcrafts and bunch of old traditional ways. So when COVID hit us, and all over the world there's economical crisis going on. So during that time, a lot of people lost their job. So these people, I was I was here in Dhaka. I am based in Canada, Edmonton, Alberta, but I was here in Dhaka during that time, and I was in a local area, and I see people making something, stitching and doing all this framework, right? So it got me into like, okay, what if we can take these things and get all over the world? And I know a lot of people appreciate culture. I know a lot of people appreciate how unique a handmade stuff can be, right? So from there, I talked to my investors. I talked to my one of my really close brothers, Mr. Saeed Ahmed, who is the founder of this brand, and my another brother, Mr. Liman, who is the managing director of the brand. So then we came across, and we found that okay, we can start over and we can do something really big. And over there, at the moment, we have more than 300 people working for us who's making all these rugs, and they're being exported to United States. And we are selling on Amazon, we're selling on our own platform, and we're selling marketplace, different fairs, and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Let's talk about jute as a fabric. So I was reading up on it before we got on the horn here. So it's number 2 to cotton. Is that right? In terms of, I guess, volume of
Yeah.
furniture. But there are different ways it makes it unique, and I assume ways that lend itself to the homemade nature of it. I mean, hearing you talk about it is very cool. Here in the US, it's almost you don't have stuff. Nothing's made one at a time, right? So it's pretty cool to hear that concept of something that is actually handcrafted by a human being who you're supporting when you buy the product.
Right. And not only that, like, that Bangladesh is really popular for clothing industry. Any bigger brands you can go for, like Zara or H&M, and you'll see the tag in like made in Bangladesh. So the industry here and people here, they work for like a really cheap price, because it's not expensive to hire someone from here just because it's a third world country. But at the same time, if we can like make a lot of people's life easy and give them a little bit of money so that they can keep on working on this kind of things so that they can feed their family and get over their daily life, you know. So that's why we have decided, like, even if we don't even sell on like really higher margins, but still, if we want to keep this culture alive, we have to keep it going.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a nice thing about having also, I guess, a business and I don't know the funding background, but I assume you have some flexibility then because you don't have to,
Right.
like, you go for the margin, right? You can kind of
Mm-hmm.
have a profitable company, scale it at your own speed, and you're not under that pressure. The venture capital pressure is what we kind of familiar with
Right.
out here, right? The Silicon Valley type of thing where you're always trying to hit that next milestone and you're on the treadmill. And hey, if you don't, it's all about the money, right? At the
Right.
end of the day. So it's refreshing to hear a business that's kind of got more depth
Yeah.
to it from that standpoint. Let's talk about the rugs themselves. So how are they unique versus others in the market? Is it the fact that you've got these, actually being handmade, the craftsmanship, and that you're able to have that supply chain from Bangladesh into North America?
Yeah, so I would definitely talk about the supply chain, where I think right at the moment we're doing a full container in every 2 months, and we're selling them out. Okay,
Wow. Yeah.
On Amazon, we're selling them out. Now we're doing our own website, and where we have these products as well. So we're trying not to like do everything on Amazon, trying to do something all by ourselves as well, right? So if we talk about the what's the difference, why would I be unique, or why all this, right? So in some cases, these jute products are not only like a decor item or something like you just buy and put it under your bed. It's not like that. These things will represent stories, okay? Stories of certain culture, certain sustainability, certain empowerment, those things. So on those stories, how we think is that not only as a story, we make these things really, really popular just because we have a huge production. If Walmart comes to us, if Target comes to us, if Wayfair, IKEA, those big company comes to us and they tell me like, hey, so we will need it like this amount, okay? Even we're ready for that. We're even talking to them in many cases, and if we can sign with someone big, that would be nice too, because we want to like spread it all over the world and let people know like, hey, just try these things out. This is eco-friendly, no doubt, okay? And some people would say, okay, there's not a lot of color options. I mean, if you want a lot of color options, it doesn't stay natural, like to keep it natural, the color is whatever comes from the nature itself. And the other point is when they talk about unique items. So there are two places in the world. One is called Rangpur in Bangladesh, and the other place is in India, Jaipur. So these two places has the best fiber produced in the like the local rural areas. So you might be asking like, why only those places? Because those places has been doing them for like more than 100 years. Like maybe before that, I don't even know that ancient. Okay. So I heard from my family, I heard from friends, I heard from, oh, you guys are doing it over there. Oh, they're really famous for this. Okay, so now we have two factories over there, and we're planning to get more factories on the same area because that popular that place is. So I think that would be one of the really big, unique selling point for us, so that people know that how good the fabric is.
When did you launch the Amazon store? So you started Amazon and now you have a Shopify powered website. So kind of doing your own thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the timeline on both of those? You started at Amazon and then moving over to your
So
own site.
we started on Amazon around year 22.
Yeah.
And for our own website, we started at the end of 22, at the beginning of 23. And from 23, we've been still working on the website, like, trying to change this and that, like, doing a lot of developments and trying to do a lot of SEOs, trying to do different marketing stuff. Then while starting with the marketing stuff, my personal background is I'm a computer science business student. I did my undergrad with University of Alberta from Edmonton, Alberta. And over there, I have studied a lot of marketing tactics where they always look for influencers, social media. Then I started digging in with influencers. And even for Spotify, they have lessons regarding influencer marketing, right? So when I was going through that, then I found out, oh, why don't I look for why instead of going one by one with the Instagram or Facebook, why don't I look for someone? Like I searched it up with the app. I searched for influencer marketing with Shopify App Store. Then you guys come up, okay, on the search results, and I was like, should I take them? Then I see the pricing is reasonable. And there was one more guys, I think they're called Affluence. And I don't know if you know them or not, but
I do, yeah, they're more expensive.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did some few meetings with them as well, and the thing was like, I'm not in a situation with my website. I'm not making that amount of profit so that I can put that budget into that. Okay. So maybe I will be in a year. Who knows, right? You never know. So I was like, let's start from the bottom. Let's see what Affluence can do for me. And so far, I'm happy. Honestly, I am like I made my own collab. I'm reaching 6 people every day. I'm trying to like talk back and forth with people, and they're being really nice and they're being really communicative, and I think I'm hopeful. So I think I sent 3 people already my stuff for promoting my brand, and I'm looking more and more, and thanks to and shout out to all the influencers who's helping my brand Eco Crave. And yeah, and thank you to you as well and your influencer as well, because you guys are the ones who's helping us out.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. Yeah, thrilled to hear that. That's great on the how you found us, and then also the current traction that you're
yeah.
getting, and then hopefully we get this out right, and we'll get more um, influencers learning about Eco Crave, and we'll kind of keep that momentum going for you.
Mhm.
So on the collab, let's talk about the collab specifics, because we got our influencers watching this and people who haven't applied yet. We got to get them, especially our home and lifestyle friends. So you mentioned product for people who are a fit for you. And then I noticed there's also a commission opportunity as well for the
Right.
influencers, assuming they've got something to share.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, even not only that, I even talking to a lot of people, and I was telling them like, hey, so it's all about the impact, right? If you can get impact for me, if I can see traffic, if everything is going smooth, I don't mind sharing my profit with you at all, because you're the one who is helping me out to get my brand out, right? So, but sometimes it does get unreasonable for me, because in some cases I see that, oh, the pricing is so high for maybe like one video they're gonna make for me, and they're gonna charge me like $5,000, right? I have faced some of the influencers like that. I'm not gonna name them, but I know some people will charge that much, and they have worked with Rugs USA. They have worked with like really big companies, right? So I was like, maybe that's way out of my budget, right? 5,000 is a lot for me, right at the moment, and I have a lot on my plate right now, and I have a huge number of people working for me. I have to pay their this bill, their all the salaries and everything. So it's not easy at this moment, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep it cool. I'm trying to keep it as easy as I can. If I'm getting impact, of course, you make money off sales, right? You can do basic affiliation marketing. That's how you can grow. You can grow, I can grow. Simple as that.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I think focusing where I know you are with us on the micro influencers, even the nano influencers, I think you do get better value, I think, than the $5,000 post type of crowd. And Harvard Business Review just had a piece I saw. Google targets me with all these articles because it creeps on me and knows I want everything influencer related. But they just did a study, and I mean it's common sense. You would know this just off the cuff, but it just doesn't really deliver an ROI, right? Because if you're going to spend $5,000, you need a lot of sales to be able to justify that versus maybe a micro influencer who's going to be much more reasonable to work with on the and produce just as good of a reel. Is just much more attainable, and you can kind of achieve that ROI, and then you can work with more partners to kind of build your network faster that way.
Right. Even not only ROI, it's just on the beginning of any certain brands, whenever they're really new on the search engine and in the market, they need people to hop into the website. Just be there, just visit the website and see if you like, then it comes to the ROI. If you like, then it comes to the but before that, you have to be there on the website. For that, I don't need someone with like 5 million followers, right? 5,000 follower guy can do the same work, and they can do much better because they will be posting, they will be like, being more consistent, and especially they will talk. I will feel good about it, right? At least they're talking to me, they're like, hey, you should try this, hey, this might work out, like, having the really basic communication with someone, right? And it feels good. And I also want them to grow as well with my brand too, right? So if with my brand they can make a bunch of money, then why not? Because this is the opportunity we're slipping out and we're missing it, right? So yeah, I would say definitely.
Yeah, great point, right? And then you can also share, right? They're creating great content, you can share it as you're growing your social feeds, and that kind of helps them also. And I've noticed that also with the nanos and micros we work with versus the more expensive influencers. You get their pricing sheet and they will do the one video and nothing more, versus I think the way you described it it reflects my experience with the micros, nanos, where they're like, well, here are the things I can do, and it's a laundry list of things, but they're trying to be very helpful and maybe leave a review and kind of do all those things that you want to see from a partner, right? And in turn, you're doing the same for them, right? Sending them product and helping them out with commissions and that types of things. So I'll get you out of here on this one, Riazul. I know you got lots of, I'm sure, influencers to talk to, and you wear all the marketing hats. So I know you get your SEO and all that stuff that you're doing,
fun.
and ads and all that fun stuff going on. So what's next for Eco Crave, either on the influencer side or in general? What's next for you on the marketing side?
So for us, we're just doing rugs right now, and we have placements. So we're trying to find more jute decor items for the house. Like there's a bunch we can think of, and there's a bunch we have already in plans. So our product manager is looking into these new products we're looking into. So we might be dropping them soon, and at the same time, one of the other target is getting our ads pretty much all over the internet. So we're getting ready for the ads marketing next after we're good with the influencer. So that would be the current goal. And that's like the conversation I had in my last meeting with my bosses. So
yeah, that's awesome. And that's great again for our influencers who are watching, listening, because you can get in early. More opportunities then to promote, right? As the new products come out, the placemats come out, and can promote. And then the ads, I mean, I'll speak from that from my experience. That's helpful also to kind of have that air cover. So if you're the influencer, you're the affiliate, and you're sending traffic to Eco Crave, and now you've got ads reminding people, it's going to even increase their conversion rates on these sales. So that's a great kind of follow-up, and I think all the more reason for influencers to get involved now. And I'm sure it's very refreshing versus your average Amazon affiliate program where it's everyone doing the same stuff, right? Lower commission, and you don't get to talk to the marketing manager directly. Excellent stuff. So how can people find and follow Eco Crave online and on social media?
So for online and social media, it's pretty basic. For Instagram, it's @EcoCraveWorld. It's pretty basic. And for a website, it's www.ecocraveworld.com.
Excellent. And we'll get those links as well as a link to your Afluencer collab here in the show notes below. People can click, apply,
Thank you.
Talk to our friend Riazul. Yeah, you got it. Thanks so much. This is a great conversation.
Educated
me about jute rugs and furniture.
Yeah, Brett, it was nice meeting you, and thank you everyone for watching. And yeah, we'll talk to each other soon then.
We will. Yeah, for sure. We'll have you back when we do the new product launches on your side.
Thank you.